Psycho 2 was published in 1982 and it has absolutely nothing to do with the film. Legend has it, Robert Bloch discovered that Hollywood was planning to make a sequel to his film. He approached them and said, "Can I do the screenplay?" They said, "No thanks, we'll do it ourselves." And then he became bitter and decided to publish Psycho 2 simply out of spite. The main premise of the story is very different to the film, Psycho 2. Norman Bates has spent 20 odd years in a mental home under the care of a man called Dr. Claiborne, who wants to work him out and become famous for doing so. One day some nuns visit the mental home and Norman Bates manages to escape by killing one of the nuns, putting on her outfit and then strolling out of the hospital and then actually driving away in a van. The first shock for me reading this book was finding out that Norman Bates is suddenly a necrophiliac. After escaping the hospital, he actually fucks a dead nun in the back of a van. Yes, you did hear that correctly. And then shortly after that, Norman Bates is largely absent for the whole entire book. It basically consists of his doctor, Claiborne, searching for him around Hollywood. In this respect, the book kind of reminded me of Halloween. In Halloween, you've got the doctor searching for Mike Myers. It's got that kind of feel to it. It very rapidly turns into a critique of Hollywood. There just happens to be a Hollywood film being made about Norman Bates at the same time that he manages to escape from this hospital. And most of the book surrounds the crew and the actors making this film. And you've got like the woman who wants to play Mary Crane, and she's desperate for the role and she'll do anything to get the role. That's like a critique of what happens in Hollywood. You've got the shady director, you've got the producer with loose morals, and you've got the idea that the team want to make this film for profit, not art, which is also a big issue in Hollywood, right? So the whole thing is like a big critique of Hollywood. It seems to me that Robert Bloch was very, very bitter about this, possibly even before this sequel was being made. I don't know why. In my opinion, Hollywood, or Alfred Hitchcock, turned his original story into a masterpiece. The Psycho film is better than the Psycho book. And, I mean, Robert Bloch wouldn't have known this at the time, but Psycho 2 is also better than Psycho 2, the book. So, I don't think he had that much of a reason to be so hateful and bitter, but this book is like one big up yours to Hollywood. It's not that scary. It's quite meta, so it is quite ahead of its time in that respect. You've got a Hollywood film being made about a character who's actually in the book, so it's got a meta feel to it, and that it's quite funny in parts, but you don't see a lot of Norman Bates, and it kind of feels like he was trying to destroy Norman Bates to spite Hollywood and to spite the film. It's got very bad reviews on Goodreads as well. So what did I give it on Goodreads? I think I gave this book 2 or 3 stars. The film is much better. In fact, Psycho 1, the film, is better than Psycho 1, the book. Psycho 2, the film, is better than Psycho 2, the book. There is another Psycho novel by Robert Bloch called Psycho House. I'm not sure I'm going to bother reading it after this, because this was a bit of a flop. It was long-winded, it was degrading to his own creation. It wasn't that scary. And its only redeeming features is it was quite funny in parts. Thanks very much for watching. I'll be back in 2 weeks with another book review. In the meantime, try to have a good day on this psychotic, bizarre, satirical piece of rock we call Earth. Lots of love. Goodbye.